EZLN forever. EZLN Commander Supreme. Minnesota Zapatistas People's Republican Peacekeeping, Peacemaking, Earth Liberation Frontline Forces in action. And this is a little notice about what I want you guys to know about the cult of psychiatry, which is the leading cause of genocide in the world, killing 8 million human beings a year. And for all you people, which is most of you people in America, when you meet people like me, you say, dude, you need some help. Go to the hospital, man. Get some medicine. All right, here's what it's all about. This was written at a psychiatric facility on 12/17/19 after dinner. The lakes and rocks and birds are my friends. When I'm in the woods alone, I'm never lonely. Oh, great spirit, the traumas inflicted upon me since birth have been feeling too heavy to heal. Yet, I cannot simply repress that which weighs so real and so heavy upon my consciousness. Repression and suppression just create more mental illness for me. I can't sleep tonight. Up late on this half-moon starry night, charging my crystal altar with my wallet, magnetite, and feather duster, praying for healing, protection, and abundance to surround me, flowing to me, and rain down upon me. What all these psychiatrists, nurses, county workers, judges, and police have done to me these past horrific 10 years of pain, harm, damage, and torture of my body, mind, soul, and spirit weigh so heavy on top of the first 12 years of terrorization inflicted upon me by Chris and Sue Stevens, my parents, Community of Christ the Redeemer. That was a sex trafficking, MK Ultra Satanic Worship Center I was brought up in, and the Trinity School I went to. In addition to the subsequent 21 years of abuse, manipulation, trauma, and terrorization by them, along with various friends, collaborators, community members, family, and romantic partners, it just feels like I will just be doomed to be always broken and hurting, angry, traumatized, and remain without resolution, satisfaction, or justice, restitution, or reparations for pain, suffering, and damages inflicted upon my peaceful, kind, loving, and gentle, true spiritual nature of my being. What all these psychiatric Nazis have done and are currently doing to me is beyond criminal. I consider it to be high crimes and misdemeanors, crimes against humanity, and I deeply desire and struggle, flailing around like a ship tossed about by a storm, unmoored and not anchored or protected from the dashing, destructive forces of a maelstrom of hurricane-level force unleashed to tear me to pieces and dash me against a coral reef and leave me stranded 1,000 miles from a safe harbor with no life preserver or equipment to send out a Mayday SOS. Interdiction, which is where I'm at now. I'm at a motel in Roseville, Minnesota, and because I went ahead and exposed the whole childhood sex trafficking network that my parents and Wookiefoot organized and operate on our soil, and guaranteed the U.S. government not only doesn't care, they support it, because every time I called the FBI, they just hung up on me. So anyways, death to the infidels, man. Death to the infidels. And I had a conference call with my Trump boy, the almighty Donald here. He's just chomping at the bit, holding them up in Northeast Ohio. Just holding them. He's like, dude, just chill out. We gotta wait till the next elections. They're just cool. They're meditating, praising Allah. All sitting there in a circle, just praising silently, for praising with their arms up wide and their machetes up. Just like this. They don't even say nothing, they're just chill. And so he cooled me out. But I'm not cooled out at all. I am not cooled out at all. Especially after 10 years in a forced chemical warfare against my brain and body in a psychiatric hospital that Everybody in America is like, hey, you should get some help. Go to the hospital. But not a single person wants to be helpful. And all I'm ever doing is acting the way I'm acting right now, talking the way I talk, because that's the way I talk. And it's a fucked up shit show flip-flop retard. And psychiatric medicines, they aren't. Drugs, they aren't. They're known, deadly, toxic, poisonous, chemical warfare agents. Every single one of them absolutely confirmed and verified by the Federal Food and Drug Administration to be deadly chemicals. And then they charge us for it. After this, 12 dudes around you, and I'm acting like this. 12 dudes, like big ones, because they don't hire little people like me for security. They train security that are 6'2" big BBC fuckers. Especially love to just get down and rain a gangbang up on a harmless, vulnerable, defenseless, not doing nothing to that person. And that's healthcare. And then they strap you down to a board by your wrists, waist, and ankles while you're screaming about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the Geneva Conventions and American everything. Well, no laws of any world, of anywhere, anything. The pharmaceutical companies have written all the laws to provide full immunity to every agent getting paid, allowed, and encouraged to beat the fuck shit out of us. So then they strap you down and then they fill you up with deadly chemicals. And it'd be nice if they just left the room. Well, I mean, you already haven't been doing nothing but just sitting there for the last 10 minutes. But they still see you as a threat because you're like, hey, back off me, man. This is a health care facility. I have a mental disability and I'm having a panic attack, which is just me talking like this because I just got assaulted by one of your staff, man. So back the fuck off. The minute you say that, boom, there are 8 dudes on you. And then they don't just, I mean, you're already immobilized the minute 8 dudes are on you. But then they shove your head down on the mattress so you can't breathe. The minute you're going, they squeeze on your toes, like just enough, so right before they break. And then they feel so good about it because they're earning a paycheck. And then they take you to a seclusion room, which is an 8x12 room. In the middle, there's a plastic mattress, no toilet, no running water. And they just go ahead and leave you there for like the next 1, 2, 3 days. Whenever they fucking feel like it. Then they move you to the next seclusion room. Plastic mattress. This time you got a toilet and running water. And you're smart. When you were in the other room, you like screamed and demanded, listen, man, I'm dehydrated. Give me some water. And they give you like 40 ounces for 2 days. And then when your plastic urinals fill up, you're smart. You don't want to be walking around and all your beds. And your lips are cracked. And your throat is dry. So you drink your own urine. Yeah. Yep, that's what happens in the psych wards. When all you people say, hey, you need help, man. You should go to the hospital and talk to someone. And then not only do they do that, not only do you do that, but you guys go ahead and take care of it for me. I mean, I can't just even go voluntarily because you've already called the county who talks to anyone having anything to do because HIPAA doesn't operate on that. And HIPAA is a very important privacy on medical records. So you think if your friends, cousins, uncles, daughters up in the hospital getting treatment for some cancer or something, you can just call and talk to her doctor and say, hey, I got an idea. Here's what you should do. Right. No, they're like, no, well, HIPAA privacy laws can protect that. Not in psychiatry, the cult. You guys, wake the fuck up, man. Wake the fuck up, America. Because I'm going to tell you this once, and I'm going to tell you right now. You guys act up. You guys get all insurrectionists against the government. Post it on Facebook. Direct attacks at the almighty Trump Donald. Well, that's where you're going to go. Because it makes us money. And you ain't making the GOP no money just sitting there in their fat asses screaming at the government for more free handouts when you already live for negative and you think you're all supporting your whole lifestyle in America at your $12 an hour job. Right, and then you spend all that money in Walmart or wherever the fuck you are getting drunk and shit and then buying illegal narcotics on the black market that support foreign private national hit squads against us. And you think you're all cool about that too. Hey, you Americans, you got another thing coming for you. Well, it's just based on everything you want with total reciprocity and Uncle Sam justice. GOP style, which is based on the fact that you Americans, well, you never had no United States of America, and you never had no Constitution you're also proud of. You're so proud of your constitutional right to shop as much as you want on as much money as you can get for free from any organization. You rock on, America. You guys are great. Well, you brought it on because, what was it, about 9 or 10 days ago, Trump, the almighty Donald, called and said, we're bankrupt. That's it. So I went ahead and put a cease and desist on, close down on the DC Incorporation, which doesn't even exist anymore because a corporation can't exist if it does not provide increasing returns to the shareholders. So the stock plummeted and tumbled and went down in the negative when we shut it down. And so there's a big sign on there that says bankruptcy sale. So just letting you know, all the things you've been hearing and seeing and conspiracy theories on the internet, well, all the ones I've seen and heard and seen on the internet are like the ones I said put out. Good job, netters. And the people that are doing private research on this, like the dude who told me today, and exactly what I told someone the other day, 90% of you Americans are not only going to go kicking and screaming, being dragged to the FEMA camps, you're going to run there for your lives, pleading and begging to be protected, and then you go in the FEMA camp. And then what happens in the FEMA camp to you? Stays in the FEMA camp. And that's it. And then if you can make some money, well, see you on the flip side on YouTube. Or if you're more valuable than that, and more, you got more people, see you on the dark web, a reality TV show on Star Child Underground. Anyways, I'm looking for a dark web master. Come on, put your applications in the comments. Or send them to my text message, 651-235-5145. Now here I'm going to continue on my document. Here written at the fucking psych shop fuck show. All right. I have done no harm to myself or others. I have committed no crimes. Yet I'm treated worse than a criminal. I am treated worse than the average house pet. I am deemed by unconstitutional kangaroo court to be incompetent to care for myself. Then court ordered to be the subject of highly traumatic, inhumane, violent, forced chemical warfare against my sacred brain and body, for which I have no reprieve, no justice, no ability to lawfully protect myself, no one in my court to help or save me from harm's way. Everyone included in the mental health system, even the nice and good ones, are party and parcel to the continued physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and psychological and psychiatric warfare campaign against me, with the only thing I am guilty of is thinking and behaving different from normal and having severe panic attacks from the multiple layers of PTSD, complex PTSD, multiple traumas, severe and multiple complex traumas that continue to layer on top of one another as I'm privately treated by the healthcare industry, relegated to live as an involuntary consumer in a market-driven, capitalistic, profit-based, pharmaceutical, industrial, patriarchal, oligarchical, monarchic, sadistic, psychotic, delusional healthcare system, aka pseudoscientific cult of psychiatry, led by these super sick psychiatrists, very few who feign to actually care or give me more than 5 minutes of FaceTime every few months or 5 to 10 minutes daily in the acute treatment institutions dominated and led by these total shrinko quack jobs who they're with their MDs and their PhD letters as some kind of self-proclaimed experts and authorities who somehow, from the very minimal modicum of FaceTime interaction with me, failing getting to know me as the highly complex, extremely intelligent, knowledgeable, sensitive, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, conscious, living, breathing, organic, human, mammalian, Homo sapiens that I am, then somehow rationalize and justify their self-proclaimed sadistic, psychotic, delusional notions that they know what is best for me and what I need for my personal health and well-being, balance and wellness. And if I disagree, like I always do, they strong-arm me, flex their superiority complexes all over inflated, undereducated professional muscles and domineering, hyper-inflated, egomaniacal, ridiculous, absurd, unscientific, pseudoscientific, profiteering, inhumane agenda of forced psychiatric drugging with FDA-approved known deadly toxic poisons by praying to an unconstitutional mental health court judge, aka Justice of the Peace, whatever, man, he's just an administrator or some bullshit, who always follows the doctor's orders by judging me as incompetent to care for myself, calling me a drug addict, then issuing their court order against me for forced neuroleptic medications to be used to control my brain with not only the threat, but the actual use of physical, mental, emotional, and psychiatric violence and abuse against my person if I do not adhere to their court order and voluntarily poison and harm myself by making me personally harm myself by ingesting these toxic poisons against my better judgment and scientific educated knowledge of the harm and damages these medicine drugs do to my body and brain, so I can avoid a full frontal physical assault of being gang tackled, strapped down, fully immobilized, and force injected with their poisons, which in my personal experience is absolutely more horrifically traumatic to experience as a peaceful, non-violent, non-offender, non-criminal than their psychotic, delusional, sadistic, pea-brain, stupid, fucking retarded, idiotic, fucked up, puny, primitive, fully trained, a programmed robo-retardo, monkey brains can possibly fathom, because they have taken it upon themselves to assume full control and authority over the well-being of another human being and lord over and upon me with practices, treatments, and therapeutic methods that if they subjected a common house pet to these type of behaviors, they would be found guilty of cruelty to animals and sentenced to a term in a state or federal penitentiary because they would be found guilty in a court of law of felony animal abuse. My good God, this cannot go on. This needs to be stopped. This inhumane, subhuman bondage needs to be stopped. These court overt, legally sanctioned, hardcore human rights abuses need to be exposed for what they truly are. Nazi-like torture, chemical castration, which I have, chemical lobotomization of human beings is illegal in the International United Nations Geneva Conventions, who have ruled and been supported by the International Courts of Justice in The Hague to be in direct violations of international law and directly and abusively condemned as inhumane practices by the Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution for the United States, the Constitution of the United States, the Constitutions of all 50 U.S. republics, as well as being morally and ethically completely abhorrent. I have heard the personal horror stories of hundreds of human beings during these last 10 years of my undercover investigation as the lead investigator of the United Nations ambassador to the Intergalactic and Interplanetary Office of Social Affairs, Social Justice, Negotiation, Peacekeeping, Peacemaking, Dispute Relegation, etc., Child Protective Services, and where was I? I'm getting it on here. So hundreds of beings I've interviewed during the last 10 years of the waking nightmare I have been involuntarily, non-consensually subjected to and have had inflicted upon me against my very rational, scientifically educated, and supported pleas to cease and desist this criminal, inhumane activity of chemical, emotional, spiritual, and psychological abuse and torture and horrific, sadistic, violent, punitive chemical warfare and psychiatric torture against my human brain and body, and all my pleas and screams for help denied and ignored because everyone I plead to help me makes a living profiting off the ever-growing, very lucrative proceeds and dividends of the market-driven, shareholder-owned psychopharmaceutical for-profit sick care industry. And if any one individual stood up to the end the sick, fucked up, beyond all recognition of a snafu situation, normal, all fucked up, they would all be out of jobs and end up penniless and on the streets like most of my fellow psychiatric victims, who mostly have become homeless, destitute, not because of their original mental illnesses, but because the psychiatric abuse has made them increasingly mentally, emotionally, and physically disabled to function and carry on any semblance of a normal life, and relegated them to being societal pariahs, scapegoats, and social outcasts because of the rapid and on-spread of terrorization of the mental functions governing the basic abilities of self-care, which are the very faculties targeted by the administration of psychopharmaceutical, neuroleptic, psychiatric drug medications, which are every one of them, according to the FDA, known deadly poisons, which if forced into the brains and body of any laboratory animal, are already proven cause disorders, dysfunctions, disabilities, and death, which the FDA knows because they've already scientifically verified very carefully this information, starting with animal subjects, starting with a thesis all the way up to a human test subject. And this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the scientifically verified truth of psych drugs. Over 8 million humans die globally annually from psychiatric treatment. This conspiracy to profit off the pain and suffering, disease, dysfunction, and death of human beings goes all the way to the top of the chain of the U.S. government, NGOs, such as the world powers of the healthcare industry, like the leaders of the pack, the pharmaceutical cartels, cult of psychiatry, whose money goes deep into the pockets of the members of the USA House and Senate and governmental corporate entities in every country around the globe that import and use psychopharmaceutical drugs against their populations by running long-term propaganda campaigns to convince an unwilling, uneducated global public that these known deadly toxic poison chemicals are somehow safe, and healthy when prescribed by a healthcare provider to a consumer who follows their doctor's orders. Well, I mean, I'm just having to agree with my own writings. Here's the deal. Well, I mean, multiple things are here. I mean, facts are facts, and we are in the process of a massive global depopulation agenda. So, you psychiatric people better like change your recipes and instead of letting these people live for 40, 50 years and making all this money on them, it's just like do like Hitler did when they come in, process them, and let their friends walk in the room with them and fucking go ape shit on them and tell the doctors how fucked up they are, and then get them in the room. Boom, gone, done. Because they're gonna be flocking in there, man. They're gonna be flocking in there, just going. They're gonna be running there. Well, they're gonna be running anywhere they possibly can inject themselves into. Real soon. You heard it first here. Mark my words. No world order prophecy here. And I mean, they're gonna be such a big line there. And because everyone's gonna like know what everyone knows around the world. Well, you have a mental illness, you go to the hospital, you get 3 meals a day, and watch TV, and then you get some drugs at night. Now you gotta go through some torture and be trapped down to a board. But here's the key, just go with the flow, go with the program. Don't raise a ruckus. Don't get yourself all strapped down and shit. Chill out. Take a deep breath. Don't be all flocking and running there. I mean, then they'll get the fucking national police or the private paramilitaries or whatever they are, dudes with guns, and they'll have to quell street riots. So if you want to be safe and taken care of and have a nice cushy bed and just sustain some brain damage, they'll give you a bill, but you never have to pay it. Because the hospital never turns you away for a bad debt. That's what's up. And they ask them to pay you like $20 for a service fee for providing you the good tip on how to escape the New World Order. And then send 10 to me. Now 50-50. Alright? Because I told you what's up. I told you a whole plan. I told you every secret I know. I spilled the beans. Just like any of you could do if you, if you spent 10 years on the most horrific psycho Nazi fuck up, voluntarily, observationally, intentionally, as the lead investigator, United Nations ambassador, intergalactic, interplanetary peacekeeping and shit. So anyways, my report concludes, yeah, that's what's up. Exactly, that's what's going on. And that's what's up. And that's what's going on. And we respect their planetary sovereign rights of absolutely doing whatever they can to save their planet. And I mean, they're the only ones doing anything to save their planet. So I offered them and I said, listen, you get it done 40% faster with a 30% increase on the GDP, then I'll just take 10% and I'll be the customer service consultant for the one world order of Trump. Yeah. And America, well, you guys see all these survivalists on the internet going off the grid and shit, hunkering down in their bunkers with food and supplies for 20 years. I mean, great idea. That's fucking awesome. You are awesome. Because now I know how to feed ISIS. That's great. You guys are awesome. You off-gridders, off the mappers, no cell phone trackers, no anything. Well, the thing is, you always go on the internet and tell everybody what you're doing. And not like we need that. I mean, because we have the biometrics on every product, every agricultural product that comes off our factory line. Because we hold the patents and the blueprints on that unit. And they have DNA, which is a biophotonic light transfer informational system. You put a human body in an absolutely black, dark room, and you have a camera sensitive enough with a slow enough shutter speed, and you take a picture, well, there's light. That's what's up. You guys emit light. So you think we can't see light when we're living in a reality that is so way beyond dark that is light. Gave you another secret. So anyways, where was I? Every claim I have made. Oh, here we go. No, I was over in this one. This is called psychiatric global genocide, mind control, and is an abhorrent, horrific, inhumane terrorist campaign purely designed with the bottom line profit in mind. Rock on Donald and these mighty multinational pharmaceutical cartels could care less about the health and well-being of these global consumer robot retarded biobots, marketplace consumers, and they're aided and abetted by a massive network of for-profit businesses and organizations, all individuals who all derive their profit margins from the increased and never-ending consumption of their products by creating lifetime customers of various cocktails of drugs, because all their drugs cause side effects, which they design more drugs to address. Brilliant. There is no such thing as a side effect. All side effects are known primary effects, as proven by the extensive laboratory testing required by the Food and Drug Administration and the USA Inc., or USA whatever, and other governmental bodies of other globally drug profiteering Western industrial nationals that are required in order to bring a new drug to the marketplace. Every claim I have made within this article is publicly available data out there, wide in the open for anyone in the world to verify my research. But how many average, ordinary global citizens have years of free time available to scour the databases to gain this level of awareness, much less the ways and means to gain access to this information? This situation is ruining many millions of lives globally and sentencing good, trusting human beings to horrific and unnecessary pain and suffering, harm and damages, and a significantly lowered quality of life and life expectancy. Hey, this proclamation is coming to you from old El Diablo himself. And where else? I'm good at this. I am a great investigator. That's why the United Nations hired me. Well, they didn't hire me. I'm a volunteer, but I have diplomatic duties. So I had to sacrifice my kids and everything and just keep on the program. I cannot stay silent about these abuses of power and authority, and I will not stay silent. Please help me spread awareness to this global epidemic, and please support justice and human dignity. Let me tell you this here. Your whole people on this planet, commonly call themselves human beings. Well, let me just tell you. First of all, I rarely run into anything that has anything resembling humane. And, they think they're being. but they're on a total robo-retarded remote control program. Like, they think they're doing it and they're thinking it. But the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth of a Homo sapiens sapiens, Tartal Universal Enterprises Inc. patented corporate property, agricultural products, when they come off the factory line, they have like no intelligence at all. At all. And what you think is intelligence is that it, but when you put it on the booby, it sucks. And it sucks, 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 and it sucks. Until it's done, which is whenever the mom says. Like my mom. I get like 3 sips. Well, you've had enough. Fuck you, you little shit tar piece of shit fuckhead. And then they go do a big old ritual satanic ceremony on me. Man, it's been a fucking ride, planet Earth. And like we always do and have been doing for eons more than you have recorded history. But this is an anomaly because they sent in Captain Starchild. Me, the lead galactic master of this shit. Because of the fact that, well, you fucking sick, wild, perpetrating, aggressive, homosexual, molesting, rape a female, anyone who has anything to rape, every single one of our interplanetary and intergalactic United States ambassadors that has come and hailed, which we always do. Like, if you're in the United Nations of intergalactic and interplanetary services, and you don't, like, show up when a planet hails you, well, then you're violating the Prime Directive. So the shit truth show of it is, every single one of our ambassadors like me, basically, within about half an hour to an hour after they land and make first contact, basically right when they make first contact, that gives a signal for a crazy psycho mob of like a bunch of crazy males, and some of them have crazy females, and they just go ahead and like half an hour and eat that fucker to death alive and feel all Homo sapien about it. Feel all American about it and shit. Anyways, that's what's up. And I'm the first one here to survive through the whole process required 43 years of hardcore deep underground. Like when you're an agent and you're undercover, well, you're undercover. And you don't know you're an agent. And you don't know what's going on. And you're just like, fuck, man. Oh, shit, fuck. Oh, shit, fuck, man. Oh, my God. Holy shit, man. And then you start remembering shit. And then you get undercover. Anyways, I just went through the process in the last week here, which is fucking insane when you're an asset. You guys have seen